Welcome to Speak English Confident. I'm Nora, and I'm really happy you're here today. Take a slow breath with me for a moment. Many English learners believe fluency means speaking perfectly. No pauses, no mistakes, no confusion. But real life is very different. Today, we're talking about something every English learner experiences: unexpected language mistakes. Those moments when your brain freezes, your words come out wrong, or you suddenly realize you misunderstood someone. And the real challenge is not the mistake itself, it's staying calm, staying confident, and continuing the conversation naturally.
I already feel nervous hearing this topic. Because honestly, Nora, I make mistakes almost every day. Sometimes small mistakes, but sometimes very embarrassing ones.
That's exactly why this conversation matters. Mistakes are not signs that your English is weak. They are signs that you were using English in real life. Miles, can you remember a moment when a mistake made you feel uncomfortable?
Oh yes, I remember one very clearly. I was talking with a coworker from another country. He asked me, "How was your weekend?" And I wanted to say I relaxed at home, but instead I said, "I was very boring." Then he looked confused, and then he said, "You mean you were bored?" I felt so embarrassed.
That's a classic one. And do you know something important? Native speakers make similar mistakes when learning other languages, too. The difference is not grammar knowledge. The difference is emotional reaction.
Yes, because after that moment, I became very careful, maybe too careful. I started thinking before every sentence, and then my speaking became slow.
Exactly. This is the hidden problem many learners face. One mistake creates fear. Fear creates overthinking. Overthinking blocks fluency. Today, we'll learn how to break that cycle. Let's start with a simple truth. Fluent speakers are not mistake-free speakers. Fluent speakers are comfortable recovering from mistakes.
Recovering. I like that word. So fluency means continuing, not stopping.
Yes, fluency is movement. Conversation is like walking together with another person. If you trip, you don't sit on the ground forever. You stand up and keep walking. Now, let's imagine a real-life situation. You are ordering coffee. You want iced coffee, but you accidentally say hot coffee. The barista prepares a hot drink. Then you realize your mistake. What happens emotionally in that moment?
My heart starts beating fast. I think, oh no, now I look stupid. And sometimes I just accept the wrong drink because I don't want to speak again. Like laugh.
And many listeners are smiling right now because they have done the same thing. But here is the powerful sentence fluent speakers use. Sorry, I meant iced coffee. That's it. Simple, calm, natural. Let's practice together. I'll say the situation, and you repeat the recovery sentence. You said the wrong drink. Say, sorry, I meant iced coffee.
Sorry, I meant iced coffee.
Perfect. Notice something important. You are not apologizing for your English ability. You are simply correcting information. Mistakes become small when your reaction is calm.
So the problem is not the mistake, it's the panic.
Exactly. Let's talk about another emotional situation. You misunderstand someone. Someone asks, "Did you finish the report?" But you think they asked about a meeting, so you answer something completely different. Then silence appears. That uncomfortable silence.
Yes, that silence feels very heavy.
And many learners try to escape silence, but confident speakers use clarification phrases. Here are three powerful ones. I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Did you mean, let me check if I understood correctly. These phrases are not signs of weakness, they are signs of active communication.
I think learners worry that asking again shows poor English.
But in reality, asking questions shows confidence. Even native speakers say, "Wait, what? Sorry, I missed that. Can you say that again?" Conversation is cooperation, not performance. You are not giving a speech, you are building understanding together. Let's explore why mistakes feel so emotional. Many learners connect English speaking with identity. When English fails, they feel they failed.
Yes, it feels personal. Sometimes I think people judge my intelligence based on my English.
That feeling is very common. But remember this: language skill is not intelligence, it is practice exposure. You already think deeply in your first language, your personality already exists. English is simply a new tool, and tools take time to master. Now, I want to share a small mindset shift. Instead of thinking, "I made a mistake," try thinking, "I'm learning live."
I like that. Learning live. It feels more active and less shameful.
Exactly. And here's something surprising. Small mistakes often make conversations warmer. They show authenticity. People relax when communication feels human. Let's imagine another real-life scenario. You are at a social gathering. Someone tells a joke in English. Everyone laughs, but you don't understand. This moment is very emotional for learners.
Oh, that hurts a little. You smile but feel outside the group.
Yes, many learners pretend to understand, but confident communication allows honesty. You can say, "Wait, I want to understand too. Can you explain?" Or even, "I'm still learning jokes in English." That sentence often creates connection instead of distance.
Because it shows openness?
Yes, and openness invites kindness. Most people enjoy helping when learners show curiosity. Now, let's practice emotional recovery language. I'll say a situation, you respond naturally. You forgot a word while speaking.
Maybe I say, I forgot the word. How do you say,
Perfect. You turned a problem into collaboration. Another situation, you used the wrong tense.
maybe, sorry, I said that wrong. I mean yesterday.
Excellent. Short correction, no drama. Here's an important fluency rule. Do not explain your mistake for too long. Many learners say, "Sorry, my English is bad, I'm still learning, grammar is difficult." This stops conversation energy. Instead, correct and continue. Conversation prefers movement.
So, fewer apologies, more continuation.
Exactly. Let's talk about emotional breathing during mistakes. When panic comes, your body reacts first. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your brain loses access to vocabulary. So here's a simple technique. Pause, take one small breath, then speak slowly. Even 1 second changes your confidence.
I never thought breathing could help language.
Language lives inside the body, not only the brain. Calm body, clearer speech. Now, I want to share a powerful secret about fluent speakers. They expect mistakes. They don't fear them. They treat mistakes like normal traffic during travel, sometimes slow, sometimes confusing, but still moving forward.
So, that changes everything. Because I always thought fluency means reaching a future moment when mistakes disappear.
Because fluency is not a destination, it is comfort inside imperfection. And today, we start building that comfort together. Let's move into a longer real-life role play. Imagine you are meeting someone new at work. You introduce yourself, you speak confidently, but suddenly you forget a simple word. What do?
I would probably freeze.
Many learners freeze, but freezing is just a habit. Let's replace it with a new habit. You say, "Give me a second, I'm looking for the word." This sentence keeps control of the conversation. You stay present, you stay calm, you stay fluent.
That feels empowering because I'm not hiding the problem.
Yes, you are leading communication, and leadership creates confidence. Today's conversation is not about avoiding mistakes. It's about becoming emotionally strong inside conversations. Because confidence in English is not built when everything goes perfectly. It grows in imperfect moments when you continue speaking anyway. And that's where real fluency begins. Let's stay inside that moment we were exploring. You're speaking with someone new at work. You forget a word. You pause. Instead of panic, you say, "Give me a second. I'm looking for the word." Notice what happens next. The conversation does not collapse. The other person waits. They nod. Sometimes they even help. This is something many learners don't realize. Conversations are shared responsibility.
I think learners imagine conversations like exams. One mistake feels like failure.
Exactly. But real conversations are cooperative. People want communication to succeed. They're not sitting there counting your grammar errors. Most people are focused on understanding you, not judging you. Let's talk about a deeper emotional layer. Unexpected mistakes often trigger something called self-monitoring. That means your brain starts watching itself. Instead of listening, you think, "Was that correct? Did I say it wrong? What will they think?" And suddenly, your attention leaves the conversation.
Yes, I stop listening because I'm busy checking my own English. Then I miss the next sentence too.
That's a very important observation. One small mistake can create many more mistakes, not because of language ability, but because attention moves inward. So today, we practice a new rule. After a mistake, return attention outward. Focus on the other person again. You can even ask a question immediately. For example, "Sorry, I meant yesterday. So how was your meeting?" You corrected yourself and continued connection.
So, questions help reset the conversation.
Yes, questions are powerful recovery tools. They move energy forward. Let's practice a real-life situation many learners experience. You're in a meeting. Someone asks your opinion unexpectedly. You feel unprepared. Your brain becomes empty. What usually happens emotionally?
My mind goes completely blank. I know ideas in my head, but no English comes out.
This happens because surprise increases pressure, and pressure reduces access to vocabulary. So, fluent speakers use thinking phrases. These phrases buy time while keeping confidence. Here are some natural examples. "Let me think for a second." "That's a good question." "I need a moment to organize my thoughts."
So silence becomes intentional instead of awkward.
Exactly. You are not struggling, you are thinking, and thinking is respected in conversation. Let's try a small practice. I'll ask you a question. Don't answer immediately. First, use a thinking phrase. Ready?
Ready.
What do you enjoy most about learning English?
That's a good question.
Let's continue exploring something very important. We've talked about recovering from mistakes in the moment. Now let's talk about what happens inside your mind after the conversation ends. Many learners finish speaking English, then immediately start reviewing everything they said. You replay sentences, you remember small errors, you think, why did I say that? I should have used another word. I sounded strange.
Yes, the conversation ends, but the thinking continues for hours. Sometimes I even remember mistakes before sleeping.
That experience has a name. It's called post-conversation overthinking, and surprisingly, it affects confident learners too. The difference is how long they stay there emotionally. Fluent speakers reflect briefly, learn something, and then release the moment. Learners often stay stuck in self-criticism.
I think I confuse reflection with judging myself.
Exactly. Reflection helps growth. Self-judgment blocks growth. So let's learn a simple three-step reflection habit. After speaking English, ask yourself only 3 questions. What went well? What did I communicate successfully? And what is one small thing I can improve next time? Only one improvement, not 10, not everything, just one.
That feels manageable, because usually I only notice problems.
And your brain becomes trained to search for failure. We want to retrain it to notice success. Now I want to explore another emotional situation. You are speaking English with someone who speaks very fast. Suddenly, you cannot follow the conversation anymore. You smile politely, but you feel lost.
Yes, that happens often. I understand the beginning, then suddenly I miss one sentence, and after that, everything disappears.
That's extremely common, and it does not mean your English is weak. Conversation speed varies even among native speakers. The confident response is not pretending to understand, it is guiding the conversation pace. Here are natural phrases. Could you slow down a little? I want to make sure I understand. Can you say that again more slowly?
I used to feel shy saying that.
Many learners do. But remember this, you are not asking for special treatment. You are protecting communication quality. Even professionals ask for repetition during meetings. Let's role play. I will speak quickly, you interrupt politely. So basically, we finalized everything yesterday, and now we just need confirmation before moving forward with the next stage.
Sorry, could you slow down a little? I want to follow you clearly.
Perfect. Notice how respectful that sounds. You stayed confident while taking control. Now let's talk about emotional comparison. One of the biggest confidence killers is comparing yourself to others. You hear another learner speaking smoothly. You think, their English is better than mine.
Yes, comparison happens automatically, especially in group conversations.
But comparison hides an important truth. You only hear their speaking moment. You don't see their learning journey. Maybe they struggled for years. Maybe they practice daily. Maybe they feel insecure too. Fluency timelines are personal. Your progress belongs to you alone.
So confidence grows when I measure myself against my past self, not other people.
Exactly. Ask, am I more comfortable than last month? Do I recover faster from mistakes than before? That is real progress. Now let's move into a powerful speaking practice. We will practice continuation skills. Continuation means keeping conversation alive even when vocabulary feels limited. Imagine you forget a specific word. Instead of stopping, you describe it differently. For example, you forget the word calculator. You can say, the machine you use for numbers. Communication continues.
That feels relieving, because I always think I must remember the exact word.
Fluent speakers constantly paraphrase. Language flexibility equals fluency. Let's try another example. You forget the word traffic.
Maybe I say many cars on the road.
Excellent. Clear communication without perfect vocabulary. Listeners understand meaning, not dictionary accuracy. Now I want to talk about humor and mistakes. Something interesting happens when learners allow themselves to laugh at small errors. Humor reduces emotional pressure.
I notice when I laugh at my mistake, other people relax too.
Yes, a gentle laugh communicates confidence. For example, I always mix those words. This shows comfort instead of embarrassment. But remember, gentle humor, not self-criticism. Avoid saying, "My English is terrible." That damages your own confidence. Instead say, "I'm still practicing that one."
That feels kinder towards myself.
Self-kindness is a hidden language skill. Now let's explore a deeper real-life scenario. You join a group conversation. Several people speak at once. Topics change quickly. You struggle to enter the discussion. What usually happens emotionally?
I become quiet. I wait too long, then the moment passes.
Many learners wait for the perfect entry moment, but conversations rarely offer perfect timing. Confident speakers gently step in. Here are simple entry phrases. Can I add something? That reminds me of something. I had a similar experience. These phrases act like doors into conversation.
So I don't need a perfect sentence, just an entry bridge.
Exactly. The goal is participation, not perfection. Let's practice together. Group conversation topic, travel experiences. Enter naturally.
That reminds me of something. I visited a small beach town last year.
Wonderful. You joined smoothly. Now let's talk about emotional energy again. Many learners think confidence comes after fluency, but psychology shows the opposite. Confidence behaviors create fluency. Simple behaviors change perception. Speak slightly slower, maintain relaxed breathing, allow pauses. Slow speech often sounds more confident than fast speech.
That's surprising. I thought fast speaking meant fluency.
Speed does not equal clarity. Calm pacing signals control, and when you slow down, your brain has time to organize language. Now imagine this situation. You tell a story in English. Halfway through, you lose the structure. You forget where the story is going.
Yes, that happens often. I start strong, then get lost.
Here's a powerful recovery tool. Summarize and restart direction. You can say, "So basically, the main point is," "What I wanted to say is," these phrases bring listeners back with you.
So even storytelling has recovery strategies.
Exactly. Fluent storytelling is flexible storytelling. Now I want to guide listeners through a longer role play combining everything we learned. Imagine you meet an international colleague during lunch. Conversation begins casually. You make a small grammar mistake. Recover naturally.
Sorry, I started working here last year.
Good. The colleague speaks quickly. You respond.
Could you repeat that more slowly?
Excellent. You forget a word. It's the thing you use to organize meetings, the schedule. Perfect paraphrasing. Conversation pauses. You continue. How about you? How long have you worked here? Beautiful flow. Notice something powerful. You made several imperfect moments, yet communication stayed alive. That is fluency, not perfection, movement, connection, presence.
I'm realizing that fluent speakers are not avoiding problems, they're skilled at navigating them.
Exactly. Fluency is navigation skill, and every unexpected language mistake becomes practice for emotional stability. You are not learning English only to form sentences. You are learning to stay calm, curious, and connected while thinking in another language. And that ability transforms not only your English, but how you experience conversations everywhere. Let's go deeper into something many learners rarely talk about: energy. Not grammar, not vocabulary, but emotional energy during conversations. Because sometimes learners know the words, yet still feel blocked. Have you ever experienced that, Miles?
Yes, sometimes my English is fine when I practice alone, but with real people, I suddenly feel tired or nervous. It's like my energy disappears.
That's a very honest observation. Speaking a second language uses more mental energy than speaking your first language. Your brain is listening, translating, choosing words, checking meaning, managing emotions, all at the same time. So when unexpected mistakes happen, your energy drops quickly. And when energy drops, confidence feels weaker. Today we learn how confident speakers protect their energy. The first method is permission to be simple. Many learners try to sound impressive. They search for advanced vocabulary, long sentences, perfect expressions, but complexity increases pressure. Confidence grows when language becomes simpler.
So, simple English is not beginner English?
Exactly. Simple English is effective English. Let's compare two answers. Question: what did you do this weekend? Complex answer: I participated in several recreational activities which allowed me to relax mentally. Simple answer: I rested, met friends, and enjoyed quiet time. Which feels more natural?
Definitely the simple one.
And which requires less stress?
The simple one too.
Simple language leaves space for calm thinking. Fluent speakers prioritize clarity over impressiveness. Now let's talk about another emotional moment. You are speaking English and suddenly someone switches topics unexpectedly. Your brain needs time to adjust. Many learners freeze here.
Yes, I prepare thoughts for one topic, then suddenly the conversation changes.
This is where transition phrases help. They give your brain time while keeping communication smooth. Try these. That's interesting. Oh, I see. Let me think about that. These short responses create breathing space. They show engagement while your mind reorganizes.
So, small phrases protect conversation rhythm.
Exactly. Conversation rhythm matters more than perfect sentences. Now I want to explore something emotional but powerful: fear of being interrupted. Many learners speak slowly because they worry someone will interrupt or finish their sentence. Have you felt that?
Yes, sometimes native speakers speak faster and I feel my turn disappears.
That feeling is very common, but confident speakers use gentle signals to hold their speaking turn. For example, one more thing. Let me finish this thought. I'd like to add something. These phrases politely protect your voice.
That feels empowering, because sometimes silence happens not from lack of ideas, but lack of confidence.
Exactly. Communication confidence includes managing conversational space. Now let's move into a realistic scenario. You are explaining a problem at work. Halfway through, you realize your explanation is unclear. You notice confusion on the listener's face. Instead of panicking, try this recovery pattern. Pause, acknowledge, clarify. You can say, I think I explained that unclearly. Let me try again.
That sounds very professional.
Yes, and notice something important. You are not apologizing for your English. You are improving clarity. This mindset changes everything. Now let's talk about emotional resilience after difficult conversations. Sometimes conversations don't go well. Maybe you misunderstood many things. Maybe you felt shy. Maybe you spoke less than you wanted to. What happens emotionally afterward?
I usually feel disappointed. I think I should be better by now.
That thought is very heavy for learners, but language progress is not linear. Some days feel strong, some days feel difficult. Confidence grows when you separate today's performance from your overall ability. One difficult conversation does not define your English level.
That's comforting, because I often judge my entire learning journey based on one moment.
Exactly. Instead, ask, what did I learn from that interaction? Maybe you learned a new phrase. Maybe you practiced listening. Maybe you stayed calm despite discomfort. Every interaction builds experience. Now I want to introduce something called conversation recovery energy. After a mistake, confident speakers do not shrink. They slightly increase engagement. They smile, they ask a question, they continue speaking. This signals emotional stability.
So instead of becoming quiet after a mistake, I stay active.
Yes, activity rebuilds confidence faster than silence. Let's practice a longer role play combining emotional control. You are meeting a new client online. You begin speaking. You mispronounce their company name. Recover naturally.
Oh, let me say that again correctly.
Perfect. You continue. The client asks a complicated question you don't fully understand.
Could you explain that one more time? I want to make sure I understand.
Excellent flow. Now you need time to think.
That's a great question. Let me think for a moment.
Beautiful. Notice how calm language keeps authority and confidence. Now I want listeners to notice something subtle. Confidence often sounds like calm pacing, not strong vocabulary. People feel comfortable when your energy is steady. Let's talk about emotional connection. When learners focus too much on correctness, they forget connection. Connection comes from reactions, like, oh, really? That sounds exciting. I understand. These responses show presence, and presence makes conversations feel natural, even with imperfect grammar.
I realize that when I enjoy the conversation, I forget to worry about mistakes.
Exactly. Enjoyment reduces fear. Fear reduces fluency, so enjoyment indirectly improves speaking ability. Now let's explore another real-life challenge: telephone or online calls. Without facial expressions, understanding becomes harder. Mistakes feel more stressful. What can learners do here? Use confirmation language. I want to confirm something. So you mean, let me repeat to check. Repeating information increases clarity and confidence.
I used to think repeating sounded weak.
Actually, professionals repeat information constantly. Pilots, doctors, business leaders, repetition ensures accuracy. It is a sign of responsibility. Now let's talk about emotional recovery after being corrected publicly. Maybe someone corrects your grammar in front of others. That moment can feel uncomfortable. Confident response: thanks, that helps. Then continue speaking normally. No long explanation, no withdrawal.
That feels strong but relaxed.
Yes, calm acceptance prevents embarrassment from growing. Now I want to guide listeners through an emotional visualization exercise. Imagine yourself in a future conversation. You speak English naturally, you make a small mistake, you smile gently, you correct yourself, you continue speaking comfortably. People listen. Conversation flows. Feel that calm version of yourself. That person is not a different person. It is simply you with practice and emotional permission.
I like imagining that version. It feels reachable.
Because it is reachable. Confidence is not a personality trait. It is a repeated experience of surviving imperfect moments. Every time you continue speaking after a mistake, your brain learns, I am safe speaking English, and safety creates fluency. You are not becoming fluent by eliminating mistakes. You are becoming fluent by learning to remain calm, connected, and expressive even when language surprises you. And that calm strength begins to change how you experience every conversation you enter. Let's stay together for a moment and slow everything down. Throughout this conversation, we've explored something deeper than vocabulary or grammar. We've been talking about emotional fluency, the ability to stay calm, present, and connected even when English does not come out perfectly, because real conversations are unpredictable. Words disappear, people speak fast, topics change suddenly, mistakes appear without warning, and yet communication continues.
I feel like my idea of fluency has completely changed. Before, I imagined a future version of myself speaking perfect English. Now I understand fluency is happening every time I continue speaking after a mistake.
Yes, fluency lives inside continuation, not perfection. Let's reflect on a very honest question many learners carry quietly. What if I never sound like a native speaker?
I've asked myself that many times.
And here is something important to understand. Your goal is not to erase your identity, your accent, your rhythm, your experiences. They are part of your voice. The real goal is clarity, confidence, and connection. Many of the world's most successful communicators speak English with accents. They pause, they search for words, they occasionally make mistakes, but they communicate powerfully because they trust their voice.
So fluency means trusting myself while speaking.
Exactly. Trust replaces fear, and when fear becomes smaller, language becomes freer. Now let's revisit a familiar emotional moment. You finish a conversation in English. Instead of replaying mistakes, imagine ending with a different inner dialogue. You tell yourself, I communicated, I participated, I improved today. Small sentences, but powerful emotional training.
That feels kinder and honestly more motivating.
Self-kindness is not weakness, it is fuel for long-term learning. Language learning is not a short journey, it is a relationship you build with communication over time. Now I want to guide you through a final extended role play, a full conversation where mistakes appear naturally and confidence grows through recovery. Imagine you meet someone while traveling. You start talking in English. Begin the conversation.
Hi, where are you from?
I'm from Canada. How about you?
I'm from Cambodia. It's my first time traveling alone, so I feel, how to say, a little nervous but excited.
Perfect communication. You didn't stop when you searched for words. You included the listener in your thinking process. Let's continue. The person speaks quickly about their travel plans. You miss part of it.
Sorry, could you say that again a little slower?
Excellent recovery. Conversation continues smoothly. Now you want to describe local food, but forget a word.
It's a dish with rice and, spicy soup together.
Beautiful paraphrasing, meaning arrived successfully. Now imagine you make a grammar mistake. You notice it immediately.
I went there yesterday.
Perfect self-correction. Notice something important. No embarrassment, no long apology, just movement forward. And now the conversation feels natural, relaxed, human.
It actually feels realistic. Not perfect, but comfortable.
And that comfort is fluency. Let's pause here and talk directly to everyone listening. If you feel nervous speaking English, you are normal. If you sometimes freeze, you are normal. If you make unexpected mistakes, you are learning exactly the way humans learn language. Every confident English speaker you admire once felt unsure. They also searched for words. They also misunderstood conversations. They also felt embarrassed sometimes. The difference is simple. They kept speaking again and again. Now I want to share a final mindset shift. Instead of asking, did I speak perfectly? Ask, did I stay present? Presence transforms communication. When you listen carefully, respond honestly, and stay emotionally open, language grows naturally.
I think this is the first time English learning feels less like study and more like living.
That's exactly the goal of Speak English Confident. English is not a school subject anymore. It becomes part of your daily life, part of your relationships, part of your stories. And mistakes stop being obstacles. They become moments of growth. Before we finish, let's do one last speaking practice together. Take a comfortable breath. Repeat slowly after me. I allow myself to speak imperfectly.
I allow myself to speak imperfectly.
I stay calm when mistakes happen.
I stay calm when mistakes happen.
I continue speaking with confidence.
I continue speaking with confidence.
Beautiful. Let those sentences stay with you after this episode ends, because confidence does not appear suddenly one day. It grows quietly through many small conversations, a question asked, a correction made, a moment of courage when you speak even while unsure. And one day you will notice something surprising. You are no longer afraid of mistakes. You are simply communicating.
I feel lighter hearing that. Like English is becoming a space where I can relax instead of perform.
That is the transformation every learner deserves. Not pressure, not fear, but freedom to express yourself. Thank you for spending this time with us today. Thank you for practicing courage through language. And wherever you're listening from, remember this: your voice already matters. Your English already belongs in conversations, and every time you speak, you are building confidence step by step. This is Nora,
And Miles.
and this has been Speak English Confident. Keep speaking, keep growing, and most importantly, keep trusting your voice.